Hey there, welcome back to Snowball's Software Development and Architecture Podcast. This is podcast number 2 in this Confluent Cloud series. So if you haven't checked out the previous one, the first one, I highly recommend you do so because we're going to pick up from where we left off there. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I'm going to start sharing my screen. It's going to take a second here. Cool. So yesterday, we just a quick recap. In the first podcast, we looked at how to set up sign up, create an account, sign up for a free trial, create a cluster, generate the API keys. We generated a couple of keys, create topics. We did that through command line and through Postman. We ran a couple of restful endpoints to both post request to create the topic, and then get to fetch the topics. And then also we posted another post request to send messages to a topic or produce records, as the terminology is synonymously used or interchangeably used. So that's what we had seen, and we looked at a bunch of different options that Confluent Cloud provides. It's got accustomed, acclimated to the initial user interface, if you will. And it looks like we've used up $3 out of the 400. So I think what is it, like 7.5% of our way there, if you will. Actually, no, 0.75%. What am I talking about? It's $3, not. I thought it was $39 for a second. Okay, so it's just under 1% our usage, right? Consumption. Cool. So we did not consume the messages the last in the first podcast. We published it. We created topics and published messages. And I think the topic that we published the most recent message to was topic A. Let's just publish one more. 13. So let's go to topic A. Let's go to messages. The new one should have popped up at this point. It sometimes takes a few seconds. Okay. 13, yep, offset 0, partition 0, and we talked about offsets and partitions a little bit in the previous podcast. In this one, let's, there's a number of things we can look at. Let's start with clients. Why don't we just add a consumer? Because we've been sending messages, but we haven't really consumed the messages yet. So let's try to add a consumer. Let's see, what is this? Add new client, which probably is the same as going to consumers and clicking. Okay, I'm just going to click here. There's a number of languages available to us for a client. Let's see if I chose REST, which is what we did. We went through some of this to produce, but I don't, we got the 405 and we try to actually fetch messages off of a topic, and I think that's why we ended the last one. The expected HTTP error code 405, right? Was it 405? Yep, method not allowed. So I'm not sure why. First of all, REST is not really a language, so I'm not certain you could do that. You could create a consumer this way. Maybe, maybe not. So let's just go with the Go route. I'm going to pick Go as the preferred language here. What does it say? Copy the configuration snippet for your clients. Paste the following data into a file called client.properties. Okay, I'm going to see how this pans out. An API key is required to connect to your cluster. You can either use an existing one, create a new one. Yeah, we'll just use an existing one. We have a key already. I'm just going to copy this. Cluster API key and secret. And like I mentioned the previous one, you certainly don't want to share your API key with anybody, but here I'm just doing it for, okay. I don't know, do we have to go get the API key here? And again, I'm going to freely share the key here because I'm going to get rid of the key after this podcast. So made public, certainly. I'm going to go get this key. That's the key, API key. In the real world, you're not going to share this with anybody, obviously. Okay. Secret. Oops. Well, I guess it's I may have to generate a new one because I don't know if it's going to let you. You know what? It probably won't let me view this secret. Um, I don't seem to have it here. Let me just delete this key. Same thing with this one as well. I'm going to delete the second key and we can start clean. Let's create a new API key. Why don't we just, yeah, that's fine. We can just create one with global access. Okay, global access. That's the key. We'll copy the secret. Yep, like it says here, this is the only time you'll see the secret, which is why, we wouldn't have been able to see it. Typically, you download and then you save it. Okay, I think I did download that yesterday, but that's all right. Okay, let's go back to clients. Let's go to new. Let's go. Okay. Yep, it basically used the key that we just generated a minute ago. Okay, it's got the Bootstrap server, SSL, username and password. Okay, oh, hang on. Once your client has either produced some data is connected as a consumer, you can track its metrics here. Okay, so what is the difference? Do they have, I guess they have better examples for from a local file. So this is just talking about how you could have a node uh, code where you're actually dequeuing these. Getting started tutorial. I guess they don't have one for Golang. Is that what it is? Let's see. Getting started with Apache, Kafka, and Node.js. I have a feeling maybe in the documentation that they don't have anything for Golang. It says required connection config. So maybe we'll have to go find different help. This may not. This may be outside the realm of this particular podcast, but let's humor me for like 5 minutes and let's see. Golang, Kafka, consumer example. Well, they do have one here. Golang client code. There are also additional examples here. Oh, that's lovely. They have some good documentation as what it looks like. Okay, why don't we do this? Create a new directory and cd into that. Kafka getting started. Okay. So I'm just going to say, yep, let's do it right here. Remove this. Notice that the last time this was kind of in the way. Okay, go mod init. That's the Kafka. Interesting. I would have expected. Okay, let's see. GitHub. Golang client for Kafka. Okay, we can have this page open just in case we need to come back to it. Local, I have a cluster ready. Yep, we do have a cluster ready. What's the Bootstrap server? I think we copied the URL. This is the Bootstrap server. Let's go next. Post the following data into a file name getting started.properties. Bootstrap servers. Yep, I think we're going to maybe take this whole thing Kafka broker server. Let's just copy this whole thing into getting started.properties. Okay. Oops. I mean, it's one too many clicks. Okay. Okay, topic is immutable, blah, blah, blah. Create a new topic called purchases. We've gone through the topic. We're going to build a producer. Okay, let's see. Paste the following code into a file called. Okay, let's actually, this might not be a bad time to open a new. Let me go here. Let's see. Hang on, let me go back to that page. Uh, I think I have an example Go project. We have plenty of Go library APIs published, but we also have like sample projects. Pitch Postman. This is also okay. I'm going to piggyback on another repo that we've been meaning to actually make public for a while. Oops, wrong window. Okay, let's go here and let's see what they recommend. Okay, they're saying paste this into a file called util.go, and then there's one called producer, and then you can run it and see. Okay, let's just go try that. In package main. Why is my screen? Oh, I think it's updating in indexes. Let's give it a second. Yeah, and Golang is actually pretty good. It just when it's actually doing, updating these indexes, it tends to be actually slow. Okay, now that it's done, let's just create a. I'm gonna put it here. What is the name? util.go. Okay, do a sync there. Now we should have everything that we. Yeah, I'm not going to fix this code or anything like that. Let's just review the code in a bit. Okay, now let's create another file called producer.go. Okay, compile the producer. Okay, we're going to build it. It says out producer util. Actually, I'm in the wrong place. Let me go to bitch Postman. Open another window actually. Okay. Come on, why are you taking this long? Yep, if you get any error during the build, make sure you initialize the module correctly, blah, blah, blah. Okay, took an awful lot of time there. What is the problem here? LD warning private folders is I have no idea what that error means. Okay, let's go look up help here. Oh, it's just a warning, so hmm. Okay, I'm going to ignore that warning. But you know what? I'm curious now that we saw it. Let's see what it says. This is a distraction from Confluent, so my apologies. But yeah, you should still get a binary if there's no other output. Please only report if you see a link error. Um, okay, I don't honestly know what that error is. I haven't seen anything like that before. So I'm going to keep chugging along. So we compiled the producer just to look at that code real quick. I'm curious to see that code. Okay, we have the util and the producer. We will look at it a bit more carefully, but so read config. And we did not add the properties file here. I'm trying to see, let's see where it might read property from. I bet it's going to fail because the getting started, the properties file even added that here. Just need to know where it's going to try to look for that essentially. Okay, config file. So config file path. Okay, let's see what that config file path is going to look like. Okay, let's go to the next one. Building the consumer. Okay, let's create a consumer.go. Okay, let's build it. Okay, build. We do go build that shows the output directory and the output file name. Compile the consumer. In order to run the producer. Okay, now we need the getting started or properties file, which is this one here, which we did not add. So let's go back. Let's just add it right here. Getting started dot properties. Okay. Okay, now let's see. Was there a topic defined here somewhere? I think it suggested a topic. Oh yeah, the topic is purchases. The topic does not exist. Um, so when these destinations do not exist, they might trying to think. With RabbitMQ does get created. I'm trying to think with Kafka, does it get auto created or do we need to create it? But let's try to find out. Now let's try to run the producer without passing anything, and it's going to complain because we saw the usage there. It needs a config file path. Okay, now okay. Produced event topic purchases, blah blah blah. We didn't see any other log output here as they mentioned. Producer terminating 10 messages still in queue. Use flush to wait for outstanding message delivery. Okay, that's different from what we were expecting. Let's see if the getting started properties does not look the way it's supposed to have looked. Okay, let's go back here. Wonder if you need to. You know what? We have an existing topic. Let's just try that. I have a feeling the topic was not Kafka. Does topic get auto created? You should enable automatic topic creation. We can enable Kafka connect to create topics. Okay, but I don't know if the default is that or isn't that, but it clearly there is a way. But I have a feeling here maybe it did not find the topic. So let's actually go use a topic that we have, podcast topic A, podcast topic A, and run this again to see if we notice any difference here. Don't think so. I don't think anything was posted. Yep, no, I don't think so. What is the fail to create producer? But that's not the error we're seeing. Config path, it's reading the config, opens a file, blah, blah, blah. What is it reading? Has prefix, doesn't have the prefix and not equal 0. It reads that file, reads those lines. Okay, it puts each of these params. Let's actually put an invalid port number and try to do the same thing again. Oops, I think I put it in the wrong place. Let's go here. Change the port number to something that's not quite right and run the same thing and see if it throws an error message. Because it should not even be able to connect to this Bootstrap server. Not really. That doesn't sound right to me. Okay, let's try to instantiate routine to handle message delivery reports, blah blah blah. Fail to create new producer, reading the config. What if this config is entirely empty? It still does the same thing. Then it does not make sense. Okay. Yep, I have a feeling it's gonna do the exact same thing. Okay, something is not right here. It's reading the config file. And let's say we pass an invalid config file. Okay, so it's definitely looking for that particular file. What does that documentation say? Okay, I want to see if we missed something. In the producer, which is why we have a bunch of these, which is why the next one actually said that produced event to topic purchases, key, and value. T-shirts, batteries. Alarm clock. Is it randomizing? Yeah, it is actually. Okay. But it never did this. Did it produce the message? Let's see the error. Producer terminated with 10 messages still in queue. Use flush to wait for outstanding message delivery. So it's waiting 15 seconds to produce these messages. But I don't think it's actually did that. What did we do wrong here? We notice that even if this file was entirely missing, the getting started properties file, P11XM, I want to make sure that it is the correct one. PXE P11XM. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's because our header, we used a different header. Okay, let's go back here. To topics, topic A. Okay, I'm trying to recall what we did yesterday. API key-based authentication failed because this we deleted those keys. So we need this authorization header. Where did we get that header from yesterday? API keys. Oh, let's see. So this is not through the API key. This auth header. Let's see where we can get the auth header from. I'm gonna go here. Can I send a message? Actions, produce a new message. Okay, there is that message. Okay, let me do this. There's got to be a better way to do this, but what it's worth. Network. Actions, produce a message. For the message that we just posted, there's that post request. Let's go to the request header and get the authorization. Oh, this authorization looks different. This is a bearer token. Okay, let's go here. Auth bearer token. Yeah, this didn't think it was a bearer token when we sent it yesterday. But we don't have the app authorization header. But this is doing it differently from how we did this yesterday. I don't know if we tried copying app authorization. Let's try it for what it's worth. Okay, let's just go back here. Okay, no auth, go back to the header. Let's do it the way we did it yesterday. So this request is sent slightly differently, probably because it's through this interface here. How did we? Hmm, I'm just thinking now. Cluster settings. Where can we get the authorization? Hmm. Enter the details of that key. Okay, let's just. We did it a little bit differently in the first one, probably because it was the first time we created the topic. Okay, I'm just going to. Okay. See, it created this authorization. Let me just copy that. Go back to Postman, and now it should work. Oh, it doesn't. Um. Oh wait, hang on. I didn't. Oh yeah, this doesn't copy as we noticed it yesterday. My bad. To take it here and then copy it and then go back. There we go. We got it back to a point where it's working. I'm sure there's other ways to do this, but at least I want to get it working in the interest of time. Okay. Um, so we have, so now just to check that that message would have been sent here. What did we send? It sent, hang on, what, adding a record, topic name, and then the body is just 13. So we're going to have one more. Okay. Okay, now back to the problem we were working on, which is trying to produce a message through this Go script. And it has the username and password, East1, PX11, PKC, P11XM. That all looks right. Okay. Producer terminating with 10 messages still in queue or transit. Use flush to wait. How far did it go here? Just going to increase that. Not that it's going to make any difference. It's just going to take. This is happening in a different Go. Okay, there's a Go routine to handle message delivery reports. Kafka message failed to deliver, produced event to topic. What we're looking to see is that produced event to topic. Yeah, this is to consume, but it's not. This is not happening. Getting started properties. Let's see. Configuration. Please the following configuration data bootstrap.servers. Okay. Kafka.broker.server. If your Kafka cluster requires different client security, you may require different settings. But we have pkc-pk11xm US East 1 AWS Confluent Cloud. Oh, hang on. Is this the problem? I don't know. 443, right? Not 4043, 443. There we. Oh, hang on. What was there? Invalid response size increase. Receive message max bytes. But at least it's different. So it's now pointing to the Bootstrap server. Invalid response. Increase. Receive max bytes. Okay. Let's look that up. Accept messages of greater than 1 meg in size. Receive message max bytes. Why does it fail there? Valid response size. Hang on, let me make sure I'm copying this correctly. Yep, that looks all right. When I added in, I don't know why this should cause something. What is that? Okay. Oh, it's bytes. Sorry, it's. I just need to put a number in there. Receive message max. Open this up to see what the value should look like. Yeah, there is some. This Golang library has an issue. Okay, let's receive. Fetch is this number. I'm just going to copy that. Not that it is related to the problem because the fetch was not the problem. Maybe There is a bug in the library. Level group ID. Default topic. That was from 4 or 5 years ago. Fetch max bytes. Pretty much shooting in the dark here. Let's see. No idea what these are. Okay. Let's keep looking. Did we hit a wall here? It's from like 10 years ago. Okay. What is the exact error? Invalid response size. Increase receive message max bytes. These look very much related. We changed it from meaning max number of bytes to max number of bytes to fetch per partition. Oh, come on. Okay. I don't think this is going to make any difference. But go batch producer. Expects type bool, not string. That's not a string, that is. It was a bool. Go delivery reports. Produce channel size. Expects string and not int and not string. What is going on here? Different error. Oh my god, okay. Look at their other example that was here. Kafka producer, Bootstrap service. We haven't gone as far as the consumer. Hang on, did I pick the wrong one here? I think I have a cluster ready instead of Confluent Cloud. Ah, basic. We didn't have the axe equals all. Let's see what anything else is different here. Bootstrap servers. We did not use this variable substitution. Bootstrap servers points to that directly. SAS is SL plain, and then the API key and secret. We can even add this one. Okay. Wait, create a new topic. It's fine. We're just going to use an existing one. And then this stuff should be identical. Um, Sorry, this podcast has been pretty quiet. Oh wait, I'm even recording. Yes, I am. I've been quiet, just trying to debug the problem here. And again, like I'm seeing all of this for the first time. I just do the recording as I go, with the podcast. So hopefully, it gives me the feeling of having working together, which is why I'm very quiet here, because I'm trying to think to see how to get to the bottom of this. Looks like it's not something we've done wrong. We've just taken the examples pretty much as is. Um, receive max bytes. I have a feeling we need to add this here. I'll pick whatever it's recommending there. It's the exact same error we're getting actually. Set receive max size equals 200 M. This receive message max bytes. Unless they just didn't mean the literal value, or they're just trying to say that it should be the converted value of 200 megs. Oh, this is a slightly different error. Disconnected or requesting will be caused by broker version less the API version request. Okay, wait, what is the value for that? What is the version we are dealing with at Confluent? Let's go back here, back to our cluster. What kind of information does it tell us about the cluster? Trying to say how to get the okay, let's Google this. Okay, there's more people reporting this. There's no answer. Just try and pull a fresh copy of the images. I don't think. Oops. I'm trying. Is this did a couple of different podcasts? I'm forgetting which one. No, that one's not related to this at all. That is a Terraform container, Docker container. Oh, how do we find out more information about this cluster? Cluster ID. Um, true. Does it need like a boolean? Version less than. Okay, there you go. That's exactly the same error. Solution verified. what is I guess I have to log in to get the solution here. I don't have access. Something not right about this. Okay, welcome to real world of looking up examples. As we can see here, just been following the examples and it's not working as we expected for it to. I'm just looking to see if there's a different API version we're supposed to provide. Just want to make sure nothing actually was sent despite the errors. Yep, no, it wasn't. Disconnected while requesting API version might be caused by broker version less than 10. Confluent Cloud Kafka broker version. Why does it think broker version is less than 0.1? Kafka broker. People have reported this. He says it's same on Linux is working. On Mac OS it doesn't work. It's a known issue. It's still open. That's not good. Did we run into a known issue? Confluent Kafka 192. Could very well be it because this is open. This issue is still open. The broker doesn't have any security protocols. All is plain text. Let's see, can we go look up cluster settings? Oh wait, hang on. Am I doing the wrong thing? Yeah, the Bootstrap server is not 1992. Oh my god, okay, let's see. Thought we got a different error before we did this, so I switched it thinking it was pointing to. Yeah, okay. So I guess it's supposed to be 1992. In that case, should I just comment this out? Security protocol. Say plain text. Wait, hang on. Maybe human settings, security protocol. Okay, we're back to the original problem. Producer terminating, still in queue, use flush wait for outstanding. Method, message delivery. Let's see. Did we're doing something silly here? Podcast topic. Let's say that topic doesn't exist. What happens then? Exact same error. That doesn't make sense. So, um, let's think. It's a pretty straightforward example. See if it's only to print report different errors when we're doing intentional mistakes. Okay, authentication failed. That's good. That at least tells us that that it is able to connect that Bootstrap server. Still in queue or transit. Longer flash might not be enough. We tried to increase that, if you remember, like a long time ago. Change this number. Let me make it even bigger. That doesn't make any sense. It's just 10 messages. What is different? Oh, this is using channels. Okay, let's try to get the raw version here. Okay, I'm just replacing it with this new code that we copied over. Does it say this one expects a broker and a topic? Producer config map looks for a broker and a topic. Okay, let's just do it again. Let's build it. And now we're going to run it. But we're going to run it with the broker and the topic. Topic is podcast topic A. And the broker, we will get it from, actually, we have it here. It's the first argument, and the topic is podcast topic A. It says created producer. Okay. Similar errors. What does this code look like? Hang on, did I not copy? Doesn't look right. Maybe I didn't copy the. Hang on, I did not. Oh, it is correct. Producer go. Create producer. It's using Go channels. So they're doing it. The error is still the same, so it's agnostic to what we were thinking about earlier. Because incorrect. Interest. So how come this doesn't need any of these properties? Was somebody else even looking for that username? So in the earlier code, where it said read the config, read all of those configs, stored it in this map, and it returned the map. New producer. Okay, it passes that. Okay, now in this case, the new producer took the Bootstrap servers, and then we passed the broker. This is not too old, about I guess it is a couple of years old, but it was able to create the producer. Delivery failed. I guess connecting to SSL. It's there's a lot of these errors that I'm seeing reported. Great. So we were able to send a message through the REST client through Postman, but through using code. Okay, switch back to the previous one. Oh, hang on. That's interesting. Wow. All that I did was switch it back and it's working? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, let's go back here. Let's go to this. Let's go to messages. I have a feeling those messages came through. Wow. This is weird. And it works again. 21 messages. I know auto refresh is turned on, but yeah, it's 31 messages. It's working all right. Trying to see how to explain this. That was not it as well. Did we change anything at all here? We went back to the 55 seconds. That didn't matter as either. So we were able to send these messages. Numbers going to keep going up. So actually, let's go to a different topic. We'll go to topic. I guess we can go to topic B, the uppercase B. It's got 13 messages. Let's just change this to topic B. Oh, because we didn't compile. Okay, let me. That sent it to topic B, and there'll be like 23 messages. Those are like 10 of them at a time. Yep, it works. Only thing we did, I just picked different piece of code, compiled it, and recompiled this back, and it's working. To be honest, that is the only thing that we did differently. We took another piece of code and we ran it, which should have nothing to do with this. And then I put this old code back, compiled it, and I'm running it. The properties, as you can see here, is identical. Nothing about it has actually changed. And whatever did change, the minor change, it didn't matter. X equals all. So now we are able to publish. Okay, now that the publish works, let's just quickly look through this code. It reads the config and it uses all of the config to initialize the producer. Once it does that, it creates a Go routine. In this case, another example, they use notion of Go channels. I'm going to do a podcast on that at some point, exclusively for channels, because it's a very interesting construct in Go if you haven't used it. So this is using a Go routine, and then it says randomize it. Right. Okay. Right. It just gets it's randomizing it, the key and the data, and then it produces that message. It's using it's submitting to that topic. And I guess you could pick a partition, or you pick partition any partition. So these messages, we looked at them, they're probably all being sent to different offsets and partitions, right, as expected. Okay. So if partition error failed to deliver message, produced event to topic, switch the Kafka message. Error is not null, it prints an error. Possibly other event, handle message delivery reports and possibly other event types. Okay. Yeah, so this producer, Okay, it is using the construct of go channel. I'm trying to read through this here. So we're publishing 10 messages. Okay. Let's just make it 3. Um, Let me run it again. Oh, hang on, I can compile it. Let's do it one more time. Okay, producing. We have up to 3 here. Actually, that's all right. Okay, so there is an event, produced event, t-shirts, batteries, and the gift card. So this is a separate go routine, as you can see here. Just trying to see what dictates this number. We won't have it to be hard coded really in the real world. So I'm just trying to see what we could derive that from, but that's all right. At this point, I know this podcast actually took uh, a bit of time. Sorry, because we ran into this issue. I don't think we did anything differently other than switch out and switch back and compile, and it's working for what it's worth. And then when we publish the message, I want to just see reduced event to topic, and then the key and the value that was randomized. In this example, we just randomly generating these messages. But obviously in the real world, you're going to, have scenarios like in our Snowpile offerings, when you share something with somebody, you send messages. So you would plug it into into your business functionality, so to speak. Trying to see if there's anything else of interest that we could possibly look at. We looked at the util really quickly, just reading that config, and then it's initializing the producer. After the producer is initialized, as we can see here, it's essentially producing those messages. It produced these 3 based on the loop. It produced that many messages, sends it to that topic, and picked any partition here, and it's the key value that's determined from these users and items, these examples, and then we have this that prints it out essentially, right? It's looking for those. So we don't need this. Just so you know, even if I commented out the entire uh, go routine there. Let's go here. How many messages does it have? It has like 39. Okay. Now let's run this request again. Let's compile it. Oops. Oh, come on. I think it must be like what, 42. Okay. Now let me compile it. Let me actually make a tiny change so we know it's actually spitting out something else. Bang bang, producing a message. Okay, we have 45. Okay, now I'm going to compile this. Okay, so it picked up our changes. Bang, bang. Let's see. And you see there are 48 messages there, right? So the most recent ones that we have published. So it still produced that. It was just waiting for the timeout essentially. So this code, that's what I was trying to get. It's giving us an example here to say that the message was uh, produced. So even without it, the message has been produced and it can be consumed. So when we look at, let's say we go back to look at the consumer, I expect to see. So I think we can discuss channels in the context of this consumer when we actually initialize the consumer and run the consumer. Um, I think this is already up at about an hour, so maybe I want to do that in the next one. Yeah, it's well over an hour actually. Yeah. So let's actually pick that up. Let's wrap this and pick up the subscription to the topic so we can see the messages being sent in the next podcast. So just to close this out here, um, I'm trying to think if the messages obviously do get produced regardless, but the reason we have this go routine, the reason this example has the go routine, I'm trying to think. Let's see if they speak to it in there. So none of these Stack Overflow examples helped us, unfortunately, but it's right. We were able to get out of the problem that we were seeing. Okay, let me go back here. Beginning areas doing the make sure initialize the module correctly, blah blah blah. Don't think it speaks to this. So actually, let me go back here. So we have the producer Evans returns the Evans channel. And as you can tell, the reason we saw the message get printed out after these were produced, it's happening in a different Go routine. So, it just skips that and continues to go with the rest of the execution. Um, Try to iterate through those events. And for each of the event, if the event type was a message, and as it says here, there are other event types. Let's look at the enum. Represent the Kafka message. Wait, hang on. Event type. This one is a message. I want to see what other event types there might actually be. Let's actually go back here. Trying to see what other. Here. Kafka event types. There's different Kafka event types. Oh, come on. I was just trying to get the list of these event types that as it mentioned it here. Oh, you know what? I can do something like this. Kafka dot error in the stats. Okay, there's a bunch of these. In which file is this? There is stats, remote partitions. I was just trying to look for the documentation for these because I don't remember what those are at the top. Event. Shouldn't be this hard to find it. My God, is it? Assign partitions, stats, message. Oh, it shouldn't be this hard to find. API concepts. Wow, should be a whole lot easier to have found this. So there are a bunch of these types, and it says you can handle these types. So here we are just interested in the message type. Actually, I'm still curious, so my apologies. I'm gonna message and the stats in this file too. Okay, assign partitions. All right. Okay, let's actually do this. Right. Let's go to the structure. So a few too many. Go package structure. Okay, we have stats, assign partitions, but they did not say errors as well. Let's see. Okay, there are a bunch of event types. Maybe they are defined across files. I'm just trying to look for the documentation to see what these different types were. That's all right. Okay, we're looking, in this case, the go routine is looking for just the message type, like literally the event type of message. And then if it's essentially saying once you look for that type, and if it is message, if there's no partition error, if there is an error, it says fail to deliver the message. If not, it says produce event to topic. Wonder in what cases there could be a topic error. Let's actually try, now that it's working, writing to a non-existential topic and see what happens, whether it throws that error message. Oh, we're back to the old problem, is it? What is... Oh, it's because the topic maybe doesn't exist. Let's try this. Yep, it's because the topic doesn't exist. That's interesting. When we did earlier, the topic did exist. To go back to the video to see, because we were publishing to topic A, and it did exist, and we did get that same error message. So now, okay. I was just trying to see if we can either, if you don't get to the topic, I want to get to the topic, but somehow wanted that to not be able to deliver the message, some reason to force that error. But that's all right. Hopefully, this took a little bit, but at least, this is at the end of this. How long is it now? Let's see. It's an hour and a half. Okay. Let me stop share. So I think we were able to at least eventually create a Go client where we were able to publish, publish messages to the topic. We ran into some issues. I still not exactly certain because we didn't really make any changes after we switched it back and forth. What was not being sent earlier actually did get sent, and we for the life of me I don't think we did anything differently. So I don't know. I'm still not convinced. There could be something else going on there. What I would do in the real world if I were continuing along those lines of debugging is I'll actually create a new cluster on Confluent, and I'll also create a local cluster, right? Just to see if I'm able to reproduce this by virtue of creating a second cluster on Confluent. If not, by creating a local cluster and seeing if there are any anomalies in behavior. If there are, you draw some conclusions, and if there aren't, that you'll draw a different set of conclusions from the same effort. So that's kind of how you sort of live and learn. But at least, I want to get to the subscription consumption of the messages. But this I think it took a little bit longer to publish it through this client. Through we pick Go as a client. In the next podcast, in 3 of N in the Confluent Cloud series, let's actually take that example and start consuming the messages. We'll publish it and consume it. There's a bunch of published messages, so we'll start dequeuing them off of those destinations. In this case, this topic as well. Hopefully, this is a quieter session, but if you're watching this patiently, thank you. And hopefully you feel like you came out of it with some learning in terms of approach, methodologies, processes, and things that sometimes could be magical in software, where you do the same thing again, and for inexplicable reasons, things just seem to work. I mean, I guess that's how things are for whatever reason. Anyways, thanks for watching. And before I forget, definitely check out our products and offerings on, go to products.snowpal.com, and that'll be a good starting point for you to check out every product that we offer as a company. Thanks.